Hey all, welcome back. Hope you had a good day and a good NBA day. I've really enjoyed this first round of the playoffs so far. We've had a lot of performances from players that we don't always get to hear about, and just some surprising performances from players that we wouldn't normally expect. And that's what makes the postseason so great. But leading into, well, now that we have six game sixes in the first round, and who knows how many game sevens, I have to say that I am just not happy with a lot of these teams. As happy as I've been with the competitions, the close games, and we had a few close games tonight, there are just some teams that I feel like are just not as serious about competing, going all the way, and there are some glaring issues among a few of these teams that I think we have seen all this season. That includes, I think, every team in the Eastern Conference. I've really enjoyed watching the Eastern Conference this season, but there's no one team that I trust completely. Certainly don't trust the Pistons, who we will talk about first. Don't trust Boston, even though I liked them heading into the postseason. They are now heading into a game six in Philadelphia. And it's just hard to imagine which team in the East can actually beat these top teams in the West. But we'll also talk about a couple of teams in the West I'm not too sure about either. But, anyways, let's go in order. We're only going to talk about the three games from last night. First one is the Pistons and the Magic. Pistons won 116 to 109. Looked a lot better this game compared to last game. Never trailed. They now lead the series 3-2. And it wasn't just a comeback for this team. It was kind of Detroit refocusing and keeping the momentum from start to finish in this game. And it was a star performance in this game. Very exciting to watch. Cade Cunningham set an a franchise record for the postseason, 45 points, 5 of 8 from 3, including 14 of 14 from the free throw line. Just had complete control throughout, and it says a lot about a Detroit team that can dominate from beginning to finish, but rely completely on Cade Cunningham to dictate that offense. Not completely. But Paul Banchero on the other end, same amount, 45 points. I believe just 2 points away from the Magic franchise record, 6 of 11 from 3. 5 of 12 from the free throw line, which is the first time we're bringing up free throws this episode, including 6 turnovers. Had the same scoring, but Paul Banchero had completely different impact than Cade Cunningham did for the Pistons. The Pistons won the free throw matchup. They made 28 of their 35 free throws. Meanwhile, the Magic, making me go crazy, 16 of 30 this game. Starts and ends with Paul Banchero, but missing 14 free throws, just above 50%. Last night, there were just too many missed free throws among these three games, too many missed three pointers, and just too many missed opportunities that probably could have turned into better opportunities if they try to progress the shot clock. Just an overall thought throughout these three games from last night. Pistons also won the rebounding battle by a lot, 49-33 overall. They had 16 offensive rebounds, and that's where the game completely tilted for Detroit. Magic shot overall decently. They shot very well from three, 44%, 47% overall, but had 16 turnovers this game and just lost that rebounding game very badly. Ausar Thompson for Detroit had only 6 points, but had 15 rebounds, 6 assists, and also had 5 steals and 2 blocks. Tobias Harris had another efficient game with 23 points. Duncan Robinson hit 3 threes coming off the bench for 12 points overall in this game. And Jalen Duren, who we could do an entire episode on, but chances are, if you're watching this, you've already watched a whole big segment from somewhere on the Jalen Duren situation, we have to call it right now. 12 points, 9 rebounds, including 5 offensive rebounds this game, and 2 blocks. Still well off his season average of 19.5 points, 10.5 rebounds per game. Just shooting less shot attempts overall. 12 points is tied for the most points he's made this series. Certainly made more of an impact later on down the stretch in this game. But overall, he just needs to try and dominate and be involved on the offensive end more. And it's very, very frustrating to watch. And again, you probably have already seen it, and I would talk about it more, but the situation is going to lead into the offseason very, very interestingly, depending on what happens this first round and if there is a beyond for the Detroit Pistons. Let's leave it there, though, for Jalen Duren. I want to see him just doing more on that offensive end. Positives for Orlando: Anthony Black had a great game, 19 points, 4 of 6 from 3. Desmond Bane had 18 points, including 4 threes. Jalen Suggs, 10 points, 5 assists, 3 steals. Had enough offense. It wasn't as much a scoring problem as Detroit had perhaps their best offensive night of this series. So minus 16 in rebounds for Orlando, 16 turnovers, and a 43% usage rate for Paolo Banchero. Wow. Wow, that is... but he had 45 points. So different impact from the star players, very equal talent between these two teams. And it's been nice that a lot of this series has come down to effort level, but whichever team makes it on to the next round, the offense has to get better. Or I just don't see a future with either of these two teams beyond this round. Next up is the Cavaliers beat the Raptors 125 to 120. Cavaliers lead this series now 3-2. Raptors led at halftime and into the fourth quarter, and Toronto pretty much controlled that game for the first 3 quarters and then collapsed in the fourth quarter, missed their first 11 shots, and then ended up going 25% from the field, 7 of 28 in the fourth quarter. Cavs opened on an 8-0 run and then had a strong closing. And it was just a full-on offensive collapse from the Raptors, who didn't have Brandon Ingram at the end, only played 11 minutes, left with injury. We'll see what the update is there. Brandon Ingram wasn't being as effective as the Raptors needed for this series, but overall just very bad that he is now perhaps out with injury, and the Raptors need to make an adjustment now that they are down 3-2. Dennis Schröder, 19 points, 7 of 11 from the field, including 11 of his 19 in the fourth quarter. Didn't have any turnovers this game. Evan Mobley, 23 points, including 3 of 3 from 3, hitting 3. Did he hit 2 threes at the end? I think he did. I think he hit 2 clutch threes at the end. Anyways, also had 9 rebounds, 3 blocks. James Harden, nice series from him. 23 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, helping stabilize that offense early. And Sam Merrill off the bench, or was he off the bench? Anyways, plus 19, 2 of 2 from 3 when he's on the floor helps open up that offense. And Donovan Mitchell tonight had 19 points. Jared Allen, 3 blocks. So combined with Mobley, had 6 from that starting front court. And overall, shot 50% from 3 and had a very efficient night. 53% overall from the field and was well above their season and postseason average. Cavs bench mentioned Schröder, Merrill, who was off the bench, Jalen Tyson had 8 points. On the Raptors bench, Sheed had another nice game, 18 points, 7 assists. Walter had 20 points. Toronto's offense certainly produced. It's been a very offensive heavy series, which I predicted heading into this series. Not the best defense, but certainly some high scoring, quicker offense than I'm used to for the postseason. RJ Barrett certainly tried to swing this game, ended with 25 points, 12 rebounds, 5 assists. Scotty Barnes had 17 points and 11 assists. Gave them a lot of offense and should have given them enough offense. It was just not enough and not enough too late. So Brandon Ingram only had 1 point, only had 2 field goal attempts before leaving with injury, and we'll see what the update is there. Toronto didn't lose this game because they were bad overall. They just lost this game because they collapsed into the fourth quarter. And a very close game beyond that. So last game, of course, Rockets win 99-93. The Lakers should hope that if their defense can hold a team to 99 points, that they could win. But Lakers looked just super, super flat. Despite having a much better game from LeBron, I think LeBron had 11 in the fourth quarter. It's just very, very flat. And I guess I'll pause from the analysis for just one moment. I think the only reason why anyone wouldn't expect the Rockets to win this series is the historical context. Is that right? Considering that it's never happened before, never had a 3-0 comeback. But that's what sports are. Like, they don't happen until it happens. And then it happened, right? Like, LeBron James never lost a first round series until 2023, right? 2023. And then after it happened, it meant that, well, he hadn't lost the first round series in the first 19 or 20 seasons. Excuse me on that number. But I talked last episode about how I don't think this means anything for LeBron's legacy, whether he wins, whether he loses. This is a beat up Rockets team that has had fundamental issues the entire season without a point guard or without the timelines or whatever else that we could mention wrong with this Rockets team. But I think they're the better squad overall because I've had a lot of issues with the Lakers this season. And, well, they're just troubled with injuries right now. Full strength, both teams. I give it to the Lakers with Luka, LeBron, and Reeves against an older KD and then whatever Sengun's going to be night to night. I think both of these teams have their own fundamental issues. I think they have their own timeline issues. But overall, I kind of feel like the Rockets might even have that edge, but it could be, it could still be difficult to close us out and to make history. All right, I talked too long. Let's get back to it. At the most, I think the Rockets were up 13. They were up 87-74. Late at one point, the Lakers pushed it to 96-93. And then Sheppard was the big hero of the night. hit a big mid-range jumper, kind of losing his dribble while he was doing that, and then getting a steal from LeBron on the other end, and then fast break dunk. Reed Sheppard can dunk. I guess I don't watch enough Rockets games, but Reed Sheppard can dunk. Okay. Lakers lost turnover battle 15-10. Just kind of a sloppy game from the Lakers overall. Lakers, horrible shooting night, 42% overall, 25% from three. Uh, Defense, Amin Thompson on the other end had 4 steals. So certainly give a lot of credit to Udoka and just the effort of the Houston Rockets. I mentioned that I don't really trust this team, but I will give them praise for just making a lot of effort and going in and probably thinking that this is a team that we should be able to beat, even if we don't have Kevin Durant on the floor. Jabari Smith Jr., 22 points. Tari Eason, another nice game for him, 18 points. Sengun ended with 14, 9, and 8. So just adding more impact when KD's not on the floor. Overall, Houston Rockets had 25 assists on 33 makes. So just overall much better team effort on that end. Lakers shot 7 of 27 from 3. Luckily, they didn't shoot like 50 of them, but like shooting only 27 threes in a game, I say only in modern NBA, but then shooting 20, I guess it's 26%, I'll say. Oh man, very tough to watch. LeBron James was 0 of 6 from 3, but had 25 points. Not the most efficient game from him. Certainly improvement from Game 4. Austin Reeves came back. Did not have a efficient night or a great shooting night, but had 22 points and went to the free throw line, I believe, for 11 shots? I didn't write it down. We're moving on. Marcus Smart, 6 of the 15 turnovers, so just an efficient night from him, and have been very happy with Marcus Smart overall on this team. So they certainly deserved to lose, even though their defense wasn't bad this game. DeAndre Ayton looked solid, 18 points, 17 rebounds, including 10 offensive rebounds, and some big ones down the stretch as well. Like, could have helped them get down to a 3-point disadvantage, but couldn't help them beyond that. Min Thompson, we mentioned the steals, but he ended with 15, 7, and 4. Reed Sheppard, 12 points, 6 assists, helped being the closer for that team. And this was a game of who made their shots, who executed better, and who turned the ball over less. So overall, very nice night of basketball with some close games, but the free throw shooting at times drove me crazy. The 3-point shooting at times drove me crazy. And now we have 3 more game 6s, including 3 game 6s tomorrow. So actually, let me pause there because I didn't put a... So tomorrow we start with Hawks and Knicks. Hawks face elimination now. The entire media cycle has now flipped to where I think we like the Knicks again. Atlanta Hawks, very happy with them this season, at the end of the season, post-trade deadline, and very happy with their performance this postseason as well. I think this is where the Hawks are at this time, and now it's about how do they raise their ceiling, much like how I feel for the Phoenix Suns over in the Western Conference. Then is the Sixers and Celtics. Sixers again face elimination heading back to Philadelphia. And Joel Embiid has looked like there's been no answer for him on the offensive end for Boston. And we'll see the type of impact he can make and see if they can force a Game 7. Very exciting series. And then we have the Timberwolves and Nuggets, where Minnesota is leading 3-2. And not surprised if that also leads to a Game 7. Not feeling as positive now about the Nuggets, even though they had an historic home record this season and they closed out very, very solid. So I hope you like this YouTube only video. Like, subscribe. I will be back this weekend with a podcast episode, and I hope you have a great rest of your week. See you then.